The Olympics are meant to unite the world. Different countries, different flags, one global stage. But when the pressure reaches its breaking point, peace doesn't always last. Today, we're counting down the 10 craziest sports fights and confrontations ever caught on camera. Moments where athletes completely lost control, benches cleared, referees were attacked, and chaos took over the biggest events on Earth. Some of these clashes ended careers. Others led to lifetime bans. And number one was so shocking it changed sports history forever. Taekwondo referee kicked in the face, Beijing 2008. Let's start with one of the most shocking Olympic moments ever. During a men's Taekwondo match at the 2008 Beijing Olympics, Cuban athlete Ángel Velodia Matos was given an injury timeout. When the clock ran out, officials ruled that he had taken too long to return to the mat. The referee disqualified him on the spot. What happened next stunned everyone watching. Matos suddenly lost control, sprinted across the mat, and kicked the referee in the face, sending him crashing to the floor. The crowd went silent as security and officials rushed in to restrain him. The International Olympic Committee acted swiftly, issuing a lifetime ban from Olympic competition, making this one of the most infamous meltdowns in Olympic history. Blood in the water. Hungary versus USSR water polo, 1956. This wasn't just an Olympic fight. It became one of the most famous and politically charged moments in sports history. At the 1956 Melbourne Olympics, Hungary faced the Soviet Union in water polo only weeks after the Soviet invasion of Hungary crushed a national uprising. Tensions were already boiling before the game even started. From the opening whistle, the match turned brutal. Players punched, kicked, and wrestled each other underwater, away from the referee's eyes. Elbows flew above the surface, and fouls piled up. The moment that shocked the world came when Hungarian player Ervin Zador surfaced with blood pouring down his face after being struck. The crowd exploded in anger, booing the Soviet team and threatening to riot. Police were rushed in, and officials ended the match early. Hungary won 4-0, and the fight became forever known as Blood in the Water. Olympic ice hockey fistfight, Nagano 1998. Olympic ice hockey is intense, but this game completely exploded. During the 1998 Winter Olympics, long-standing rivals collided after a crushing hit along the boards that instantly shifted the mood in the arena. Tempers flared, words were exchanged, and within seconds, gloves hit the ice. Sticks were tossed aside as players squared up and started throwing full punches, shocking fans who weren't used to seeing NHL-level fighting at the Olympics. The referees rushed in but struggled to regain control as the chaos spread, with multiple players joining the brawl across the rink. What began as a single hit turned into a bench-clearing confrontation, blurring the line between international competition and professional rivalry. It was a raw, unforgettable moment that reminded everyone just how intense Olympic hockey can become when pride, history, and physicality collide. Boxing judge confrontation, Seoul 1988. The 1988 Seoul Olympics became one of the most controversial events in boxing history after a decision that shocked fans, athletes, and officials alike. In a bout widely believed to be clearly won by the underdog, the judges awarded victory to his opponent, immediately igniting outrage inside the arena. The losing boxer, overwhelmed with anger and disbelief, stormed toward the judges' area in protest, forcing officials and security to physically restrain him. The crowd erupted into non-stop boos that drowned out the ceremony, creating an atmosphere of chaos rarely seen at the Olympic Games. Television broadcasts carried the scene worldwide, and the backlash was intense. Investigations later revealed serious judging corruption, making the incident a turning point that pushed Olympic boxing authorities to implement long-overdue reforms. Fencing protest turns aggressive, London 2012. Fencing is usually calm, precise, and governed by strict etiquette, but not this time. During a highly controversial bout at the 2012 London Olympics, a disputed judging decision changed the outcome of a crucial match. When officials upheld the call, the athlete involved snapped. She tore off her fencing mask and confronted the referees in visible frustration, refusing to continue the bout. Protest officials surrounded the piste as confusion spread through the arena. Security eventually stepped in, and the match was suspended while arguments raged on. Cameras captured every second, and the footage quickly went viral around the world. Fans, athletes, and commentators fiercely debated whether the judging system had failed and if technology should play a bigger role. The incident became one of the most talked about Olympic controversies of the game. Wrestling bench-clearing brawl. At number 5, wrestling fully lived up to its reputation for intensity and raw emotion. What began as a hard-fought, physical match quickly spiraled out of control when the final whistle blew. Words were exchanged, shoves followed, and within seconds, pushing turned into punches. The tension that had been building all match finally exploded. Coaches rushed onto the mat trying to pull their athletes apart, but that only added to the chaos. Officials immediately stepped in, forming barriers and desperately trying to restore order. The crowd watched in shock as the entire area descended into confusion. The match was officially delayed while penalties were handed out, tempers cooled, and multiple individuals were escorted away, marking one of the most chaotic moments of the event. Ice hockey bench-clearing brawl. Derek Parker cheap shots Patrick Bourdaloue. This one was absolute mayhem. After a violent hit during a 2023 winter hockey matchup, tensions that had been simmering all game finally exploded. Players from both teams poured off the benches and rushed the ice, turning a routine stoppage into chaos. Gloves hit the ice, punches flew in every direction, and multiple one-on-one fights broke out at the same time. Officials tried desperately to step in, but the situation quickly spiraled beyond their control. The crowd watched in shock as the brawl stretched on for several minutes, completely halting play. Eventually, order was restored, but the damage was done. The game was delayed significantly, several players were ejected, and league officials later handed down suspensions, making it one of the most infamous hockey fights in recent Olympic history. Karate disqualification meltdown, Tokyo 2020. Karate made its long-awaited Olympic debut at the Tokyo Games, and within moments, it delivered pure chaos. What was supposed to be a historic celebration of the sport turned into one of the most controversial scenes of the entire Olympics. During a medal match, an athlete was suddenly disqualified for excessive force after landing a powerful kick. The decision stunned everyone watching. Believing he had just scored the winning point, the athlete erupted in disbelief. He screamed at the officials, kicked the mat in frustration, and refused to calm down as the reality sank in. Judges stood firm, security stepped in, and the arena fell into shocked silence. Within minutes, clips flooded social media. Fans, fighters, and analysts argued nonstop. Was it a fair call, or did the Olympics just punish karate for being karate? Boxing referee assault attempt. At number 2, boxing strikes again, and this moment stunned everyone watching. After the final bell rang, the decision was announced, and it immediately sparked outrage. The fighter, clearly furious after losing what many believed was a highly controversial bout, snapped. Instead of returning to his corner, he charged toward the referee and judges, pointing, shouting, and trying to confront them face to face. Officials and cornermen reacted instantly, stepping in just in time to block him before the situation turned physical. Security flooded the ring within seconds as the tension skyrocketed. The arena erupted with deafening boos, fans throwing their arms up in disbelief at both the decision and the chaos that followed. Replays of the moment spread everywhere, symbolizing how judging controversies can push emotions to the absolute breaking point in boxing. The Battle of the Bridge, Chelsea vs. Tottenham, May 2016. Chelsea vs. Tottenham. The stakes couldn't have been higher. This was a title race decider, and the tension on the pitch was palpable. From the first whistle, the game felt less like football and more like a war. Every challenge sparked clashes. Players pushed, shoved, and argued after nearly every tackle. Confrontations erupted in every corner of the pitch. At one point, Spurs players even surrounded the referee, protesting decisions as tempers boiled over. The match spiraled out of control, ending with 9 yellow cards and 0 real authority from the officials. Tottenham's title hopes weren't dashed purely by goals. They crumbled under pressure, losing composure at the worst possible moment. To this day, this game isn't remembered for the scoreline, but for the chaos and emotional collapse that defined it, a lesson in how discipline can make or break a season.
Come around the back now, big shouts. The push, Rose, have a crack here. Mark Clattenburg, and then in the end, it wasn't too much for Mikel.
Dr. Clare when he plays further up the pitch.
Ivanovic late on Rose, and given the way that Mark Clattenburg pushing into the back of Pedro. A little bit. Fabregas coming in, and Danny Rose slipped, and it's good. Any pressure on Hussering. It's a good young season. It's an extraordinary setup. There's Lamela. Kept in by Pedro.
No complaints at all from Kyle Walker for that one.
Costa. Fabregas to try and steer it. You can see exactly what he was aiming for from our angle.
Well, absolutely, I think it's true.
And Son had the chance to steer them in that direction. Massive distance from Harry Kane. It sail over. Leicester might be happy. A mistake like that leads to Costa.
You look at John Terry on Vertonghen here.
The backing off Eric Dyer went into Ericsson. It's gone into Harry Kane, and it's gone into the back of the Chelsea net. It's a great moment for Tottenham. Not so good for Leicester City. Second place Spurs take the lead at Stamford Bridge. Diego Costa wanting sterner action. What a block. For several weeks now. Home to Southampton. Here's Rose. Fabregas. Again, offside flag. 4-4 for Spurs. Ericsson's ball. And Son makes it 2! It's splendid for Spurs. And it's going to recent form. Now Willian reacts to Danny Rose, and Mark Clattenburg got a major incident. Pochettino getting onto the pitch, which he's not allowed to do, even as a peacemaker. And it's all spilling over. We've talked about the tension for the best
change being made by Chelsea. Hazard, the man coming on.
Free kick. Kane's onside. Wasn't a very nice tackle by Eric Lamela. He gets yellow for it. Willian. Stopped by Matic. It's a bit more like the Chelsea of old. And here's Hazard trying to emphasise that point, but that's more Raya coming forward. He's caught in possession. He decided not to hit it. Son will though. He's saying there was a deflectors after the challenge. Over Terry. Cahill! Another twist to the tail. Joy for Chelsea, concern for Pochettino and Spurs. Look like handball, maybe. Sit back again. Costa might have other ideas. He's got Willian waiting. A touch and hit, maybe. With Mason. Ericsson. Tottenham are out of it. Ivanovic, and that will be a booking too, because he knew it. Back for Hazard. Chances for Chelsea here. And he gets forward. He slides in. Ryan Mason here. Ivanovic loses out. Does he run it back fairly? Leicester's tonight. Willian. Kane, show of strength. Costa turns Alderweireld. Hazard! He has done it! He won the title for Chelsea a year ago! He might just have won the title for Leicester City tonight. Eden Hazard.
I'll give the lesser of the two. I'm amazed at.
So, here comes Hazard. It's Dyer, and Chelsea are furious now. And Spurs players surrounding Eric Dyer to protect him. Costa. Goal kick. At times it's been a game to be shown. Amazing season, and Mason to actually wrap up the evening with a win. That's hit Oscar.
Well, that's just down to frustration from Harry Kane there.
Another booking, and there's more stuff going. Chelsea going for absolutely everything off when it comes back again. He stopped it here to Hazard. Leicester are champions. Leicester.
Every fight you just saw is real, documented, and still available on YouTube today. Which one shocked you the most? Did we miss a legendary sports fight you remember? Drop it in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because Touchline Tensions is bringing you the most intense sports moments on the internet. See you in the next one.